Hello VC, this is Roger here. I think in my last video I told you guys I was going to do a couple more videos that same day, and well, you know how it is, life happens, and I ended up not getting to make those videos like I was hoping, so I'm trying to catch up now and throw one in here. Hopefully I won't go too long with it. This is some recent vinyl finds that I've picked up. I'm going to start out, and all of these are from an estate sale except for the last two, I believe. The first one I picked up here was a blind buy. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of this group, Law. I just saw that cover and I thought, man, that looks like that could be a pretty rocking record. Breaking It, Law, Blind Buy. Surprisingly, this was kind of some funk, rock and roll funk. I don't know if you can hear what's playing behind me here, but that's Law. I'll turn it up just a little bit here. Anyway, that's what our first one is, Law. I kind of like it. It's a pretty good funk music. Kind of reminds me of Average White Band, Wild Cherry, some of that type of stuff. This next one, The Ventures, play Telstar. I already had this one. This is an upgrade. Prices on these were just dirt cheap. So I was like, man, I can't pass this up, and it's an upgrade. All of these, the vinyls are in great shape. Covers for the most part are VG to VG plus, but anyway, great copy. First one by this gentleman, Lionel Richie, Dancing on the Ceiling. That was more for nostalgia's sake. I remember Lionel Richie being big when I was in high school and stuff. So, gatefold. This guy, Johnny Rivers. I think I own one, maybe two of his records, but this was a golden hits, and it had all the songs of his that I like. Mainly being Secret Agent Man. I love that song. I think he does a great job on that song. And anyway, you can see kind of a greatest hits. And like I said, very, very good. This next one, I think I told y'all in the last one. If I find these guys at a dirt cheap price and great condition, I'll pick them up. Didn't have this one. Peter, Paul, and Mary in concert. 2 LP gatefold. Back cover. Another good folk record. Here's another one that I had no clue. You guys may know him. A Blind Buy. Brian Hyland. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. I thought, you never know. That looked like that could be a, who knows, 70s pop, rock, 60s. It is very poppy. Almost too much for me, but it's okay. He had one or two hits. I got to a little research on him. He had a couple of hits, but nothing I knew. I wasn't familiar with the guy at all. Of course, Night Ranger, 7 Wishes. Great rock record there. That's my first Night Ranger pickup. I didn't own any Night Ranger, and I like Night Ranger. I don't know why it took me so long to get it. This one is, I thought was an upgrade, but this is not the one I had. I had a live concert of these guys. Iron Butterfly, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. I thought I had this record, but I did not. Like I said, great shape, plays excellent. Just glad to have that one. Classic, needs to be in everyone's edition or collection. Anytime I can pick up Elvis for $1 in this great of shape, I'll do it. This one, my understanding, this is a mono version. You guys that are big Elvis collectors, you may can help me out here. I saw that there's 3 different versions of this listed. This particular one does have mono at the bottom. The different versions I've seen, one will have mono, one says monaural, and one says long play at the bottom. This one, like I said, you can see says mono, but it says for the cover for that one that the bottom right hand corner down here should have RE on it. This one does not have that. I do have another copy of this that's in worse shape. It is the monaural copy, and it does have RE at the bottom. So I'm kind of curious. Anybody know? Fill me in. I'd like to find out a little more on that. Do I have something special? I don't know. Glad to pick this one up. Heart. Bad Animals. This puts me down to one, I believe, record I need of theirs, having all of the Heart LPs. I thought I was picking this up once before. Let's see if I can find it real quick. And oh, this one is too a promo copy. You saw that gold stamp promo. Here's the original one I had. But notice that front. Cue card. This record is not Bad Animals. It is all. Looking at it, you think it is. It's got the cover. It's an interview record. Interview record of Heart, and it actually came with a transcript of what the record says, and this little Radio Star handout poster, whatever you can call it, of Heart. That was in my original one I had that I thought I was getting Bad Animals. So that's kind of a neat little deal I wanted to show you real quick. So anyway, pick that one up. Leaves me down to one, I believe. Jim Croce. This one is with his wife, Jim and Ingrid Croce. I have not had a chance to listen to this yet. I've heard mixed reviews on this. Some people say if you're expecting the Jim Croce of Leroy Brown, bad Leroy Brown, and you don't mess around with Jim and Time in a Bottle, that's not what this is. I haven't had a chance to listen to it to see yet, so kind of interested to hear your comments if any of y'all have listened to this before. So looking forward to spinning that one. whenever I pick this, you can find this group also. They're another one of those for if you can get them for $1. I'm glad to pick them up. Bread. This is a kind of a unique gatefold. So the record sits behind this middle section here. The Manna, good record. Here was another one of the blind buys, but you can't pass up a cover like that. The T-Bones, the name of them, starting with, and Slipping and Chipping. And then the cover, man, I tell you, that I just had to pick that up because that looked like a early '60s, maybe a Beach Boys type group, some group. I want to know if you guys are familiar with the T-Bones. There was some interesting stuff I found out about because I started doing some research on them. As far as the music is kind of like 60s TV music. Laugh In, the Smothers Brothers, The Dating Game. Yeah, if you remember that, where the guy would sit on the side and he had 3 girls he'd ask questions to and everything. That's the kind of music this is, the T-Bones. The interesting thing about this was kind of like a deal of the Monkees. This was all studio session musicians. The various ones known as the Wrecking Crew did put these records together, and they put out 6 or 7, I believe it was. And finally, in that mix there, they ended up having a hit. What was the name of that? No Matter What Shape Your Stomach's In. And it was actually based off of an Alka-Seltzer commercial, so I thought that was kind of a crazy deal. But so they had to hit. The studio was behind them trying to get them to go. Well, none of the session guys wanted to go on tour. They made more money in the studio doing their session work. They were like, nah, we're not going. So they ended up coming up with a public image of the T-Bones that the public saw. And they started showing these guys on the cover and on TV appearances and even on concert tours. It would be these guys, but these aren't the guys on the record. These guys only appeared on the very last record of the T-Bones. Before that, it was all the session musicians. The interesting thing about these guys is it was 5 guys: Judd Hamilton, Dan Hamilton, Joe Frank Carollo, Tommy Reynolds, and Gene Pello. And I started listening to those names, and something was trying to go off in my head, and I just started questioning and wondering: Dan Hamilton, Joe Frank Carollo, and Tommy Reynolds. And sure enough, these were the guys that ended up forming Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds, the soft rock early 70s trio that had the hits of Don't Pull Your Love. I don't know if you guys remember. Don't pull your love out on me, baby. If I do, it'll make me crazy. I will lay down, cry for 100 years. And then they had the ooh, baby, baby, falling in love again. So anyway, they had those 2 big hits. The T-Bones, though, they started out as the T-Bones. I thought that was pretty cool. Next, I went to another estate sale and found these, and I've just got a thing anymore. Sarah Vaughan, man, if I find her stuff in good shape, I've got to have it. She's got such a beautiful voice, and that early bluesy jazz type sound, and a 10-inch of hers. Man, I thought, shoot, yeah. $1. So I jumped all over that one. And from what I can tell, that's her first record, I believe. This this album is for Bo over at Earhead 6. Sons of Katie Elder. He always talks about his Western stuff, especially Paladin and Have Gun Will Travel, Richard Boone. But I made a comment on one of his videos today that you just can't beat a good Western. And so, and I like the John Wayne movies. Some of them are kind of corny, but I still like them. And I've got to where I've picked up a couple of the soundtracks to some of his movies, and some of them are pretty good. This one was pretty good. I've listened to this one, and actually I kind of like the soundtrack to it. But kind of one of the deals, I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, Johnny Cash singing the theme song to the Sons of Katie Elder. So I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of funny though. They put it right over John Wayne's face here. So, and that's actually that's printed on the cover. That's not a sticker. So, I thought that's kind of crazy. Another one. This is my second record by this group, and I love them. I don't know why this is just my second, and it's probably their most popular. Asia, Steely Dan. Great shape, gatefold. You can see how glossy that cover is. And the record's just as clean. I'll tell you, it had the original inner sleeve with the lyrics on ABC Records. Just needs a little cleaning, but it's in great shape. But yeah, this is my second one. The other Steely Dan record I have is Greatest Hits. So here in Midland, they had a little show, craft show, or whatever you want to call it. Different people had their different booths set up, and we went up there because I know a guy that sells records on the side and collects records, and I've met him at a bunch of these estate sales and stuff, and he told me about this coming up and going on. And there was 3 vendors up there that had records, and didn't find a whole lot, but I did pick these up. Paul McCartney and Wings, Wildlife. One more of theirs that I didn't have. Starting to get close to having most of their stuff, but didn't have that one. And for you guys that saw my Andy's Vinyl Den 777 subs contest for genre, I did a deal of Southern rock, and this is one of the bands I put on there. Atlanta Rhythm Section, Champagne Jam. I've always liked this record. I had a cassette of it back in the day that got ate up many years ago and destroyed, and was glad to find this, and I picked it up. So Atlanta Rhythm, Champagne Jam. So that's it, guys. I hope you're having a great week. Enjoying your videos. I haven't commented a lot, but let you guys know I am watching, even though I haven't necessarily commented. So enjoy your week. Have a great one. And until next time, keep them spinning.